fundamentally, the world is your teacher, your guru. Everything is teaching you all the time. You may not know it. And sometimes, as my teacher, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, used to characterize the function of a teacher, he called it a guru, is to introduce you to your world. So it's not to order you around, it's to say, this is what you need to look at. And then that teacher you never have to talk to that teacher again, basically. If you really understand what that means. So today we'll talk and we'll work with more about just awareness practice. So if you're a long-time meditator, then I recommend you face out into the room and raise your gaze and just look out at everything. And if you have been meditating for, say, less than a few months, then I would continue to face the wall, or if you prefer to face out, which you can do, then keep your gaze a little lower. And then tonight, if we're all still here, I'll talk about, I don't know, something else. Talking about awareness, I guess. Laktam, Vipassana, insight. Any comments or questions on any of that? Tim?
I was waiting for you to say you were making this distinction between mindfulness and awareness.
Okay.
So I was expecting there to be something different about how we sit with that.
Mm-hmm. That was the mindfulness part is more about more of a one-pointedness of just looking at what arises, and the other kind is kind of suggested by body posture and so on, by looking up more and looking out into the room, mm-hmm. and looking at just anything that occurs. So less of a focus kind of thing of you might say, just being in the room situation, and more of a not being anywhere in particular. Mm-hmm. So maybe less maintenance, just more of a relaxation. I'm not sure if I'm even addressing
would it be safe to say it's part of the transition from the ocean to the world?
It is. It is. And we do that all the time. You can do it in one sitting, you can do it in 20 minutes, you can do it over a period of days, you can do it over a period of months, years. And everyone is so different. This is why it's important to, from my perspective and my understanding of this whole thing, it's important to see how you personally are working with that. You may, and I think if you really look at your situation, you may find after a few weeks, few months, few years even, of going right back to the wall, because if something has happened, you understand something about the nature of how you deceive yourself, that you need to go back and stabilize more. Because when you look out, you begin to jump to conclusions. This is not it's not a linear situation. In fact, Shila, Samadhi, and Prajna, discipline, meditation, and knowledge or wisdom are all influencing each other. So it isn't like a linear situation. So even though we need to talk about it as being separate, how it might occur, or one person might begin to look out and continue to do that. Another person might turn back and look at the wall, or drop their gaze and look down more. Might work more with how their body feels. I'm not sure if that's getting it a little closer.
Yes. Thank you.
So some people might feel a really strong contrast. Other people, I never could tell for years, could not even tell the difference. Had no idea what they were talking about. Completely lost about the whole thing. would ask people, and I would get a bunch of concepts or ideas, or I still didn't have any idea what the difference was. And this was for years. And I did a lot of meditating, so, but I never could really, I didn't want to admit that I didn't understand it. So, anything else? Any other questions or comments?
Just a logistical question.
Yes.
After Manny has the first idea, then where we're going this way, this way?
Yeah, Terry would be next then.
Okay.
And then we'll just come up around the room this way.
Okay.
And here again, if you don't want an interview, that's fine. On the other hand, I would appreciate it if you would come in anyway, so I can talk to you a little bit, because some people I haven't talked to at all here. That I like last night. It was Gergie. I never got a chance to talk to her at all, and I would have liked to see talk to more to the person that was there with that smile, that perpetual smile all the time. I would have liked to have gotten to know her a little better. So it's not about trying to instruct you or do anything that anything you don't want to do. If you have a particular technique that you want to, I'm fine with that. It might be nice to visit a little bit, see where you're at with your practice. One of the reasons I say that is the talk I give each night is not planned. It's based, somehow it comes out of talking with people all day about where they're at, what they're doing, what's going on with them. You may recognize that, and you may not. But if there are people that I haven't talked to at all, then I'm looking forward to the next day possibly talking to them. So here again, that's not even necessary. Do what you want. Any other questions? Anybody hiding around that corner? A little tiny meditator sitting?